Hello friends, my name is Bahroz. I'm a finance executive by profession, and in today's video I will share with you 7 tips that you can make use of in order to write an incredible resume. Now these tips that I will share with you are supported by research, and I will be sharing with you the relevant research along with the tips in this video. And not just the research, rather I will be also explaining how you can go about applying these tips in your case. Now, before we go into the video, I have one special ask for you, which is to press the like button, and if not subscribed already, also subscribe to the channel. Both of these actions will help me a long way in improving the quality and the quantity of content that I post on this channel. Now let's get rolling into the video. Now the first tip is customization and keywords. Tailoring your resume according to the job description and making sure that the keywords from the job description are reflected in the resume is very, very important, because whoever is reading your resume, they are looking for certain qualities and certain skills in you, and those skills and qualities have already been called out in the job description. These are the keywords that you also need to reflect in your resume, so when a hiring manager or a recruiter is reading your resume, they find your resume relevant to the job description that they have posted. Now, one smart way of doing this is using an AI model. Copy the job description, paste it in the AI model, and ask the AI to tell you what are the top 5 key qualities or the keywords that this job description is looking for. And then make sure that those keywords are reflected in your resume. Now, let's share with you the research as well. A study by Career Builder found that 58% of employers identified lack of relevant keywords as a primary reason for rejecting resumes. Customizing resumes to match job postings helps in passing through applicant tracking system ATS, which scan for specific keywords. Number 2 is achievement over responsibility. Many people just mention their responsibilities on the resume, which is, let's say I'm a finance manager, I look over budgeting, I look over forecasting, I look over planning. These are my responsibilities. These are not my achievements. You need to write down your achievements. Now, achievements could sound something like this: because of my planning, I was able to improve the sales growth of the organization by 3 percentage points. Or because of my smart budgeting, I was able to optimize the budget by 3 percentage points. Or because of my financial analysis, I was able to figure out key growth opportunity areas within the company, which allowed us to grow by 5 percentage points in that particular year. And here it is important that you just don't mention your achievement, but also make sure that the achievement is quantifiable. That is, there is a number against it. Either it's a financial metric, or it's a top line metric, or it's an organizational metric. So much so by saying that I was able to improve the morale of the organization by X percentage points, or I was able to reduce the number of employees or the number of work hours required for a particular task by X percentage points, and so on and so forth. But it has to be quantifiable. There should be a dollar amount, a percentage amount, a number against that particular achievement. The research published in the Journal of Employment Counseling showed that resumes emphasizing accomplishments over duties had higher callback rates. Quantifiable achievements, example, increased sales by 30%, provide concrete evidence of a candidate's impact. Talking about quantifiability, a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that resumes featuring quantifiable research received 40% more interviews than those with vague description of duties. Next one is simplicity and readability. This is very, very important. If you have good achievements written down in the resume, but it's difficult to read and find where they're written, it's not simple, it's not clear, then you will struggle for your resume to get shortlisted. Here, I strongly recommend that you follow a very standard format. Don't try to make it very fancy, because if you make it very fancy, the person who is skimming through different resumes, as soon as they see your fancy resume, they kind of get distracted, and it takes them longer for them to find the information that they are looking for. Keep the resume format very standard, so it is very easy for the interviewer to know exactly where to find your address, your name, your contact details, your roles, your organizations you worked in, your achievements, your education, your skills, all of that. By the way, I've made a separate video where I explain how you can go about writing a winning resume. You can check out that video. I will leave the link here or in the description of this video. Studies by the Ladders have demonstrated that recruiters spend an average of 7.4 seconds initially scanning a resume. Resumes with a straightforward format and easy to read font performed better in eye tracking studies. Now, one important call out here, in case you're interested in having a one-to-one session with me where I can either guide you in how you can go about making a strong and a winning resume, or otherwise you need coaching for your job hunting and interviewing skills, you can book a session with me using the link that I will leave in the description of this video. Now let's get rolling back into the video. On the same lines of simplicity and readability, first impression is also very important. If the resume is neat and clean and simple to read, it creates a good or a strong first impression. A study by the Society for Human Resource Management found that 70% of recruiters form their initial opinion within the first 60 seconds of reviewing a resume. A well-organized and visually appealing resume can lead to more favorable evaluations. Next tip is to make the resume more dynamic and action oriented, and for this you will need to use action verbs like developed, led, created, established. These are the kind of words that you need to use in your resume for it to sound that you took some action. There was a bias for action for any achievement that you've listed down. Research from Psychology Today indicates that action verbs increase the perceived level of proactivity and competency in candidates. Next tip is that there should be consistency across different platforms that you're using in order for you to apply for the jobs. Let's say one is your resume that you've submitted, and second is the LinkedIn profile that you have. Both of them should be consistent. Many people who once they receive your resume would like to go on social media and look for you, and primarily that one place is LinkedIn, and they would like to understand what other things you are involved in when they check out your LinkedIn. If your LinkedIn profile is very different from your resume, or it's not updated, or it's not looking good, it will leave a bad impression. So make sure that while you submit your resume, you also update your LinkedIn profile and make sure the two are consistent and match and marry. According to LinkedIn data, recruiters often cross-reference resumes with LinkedIn profiles. Inconsistencies can lead to doubts about the candidate's honesty or attention to detail. Last and seventh tip is to make sure your resume is technologically integrated. That is, it is optimized for ATS system. This is a system that organizations used in order to shortlist candidates and resumes. It is humanly impossible if a particular job opportunity receives, let's say, 50 resumes for one individual to read all 50 resumes. So it is much easier to use an ATS system which makes use of the keywords in order to identify whether a particular resume is the right resume and should be shortlisted or not. What I mean by optimizing your resume for ATS is to make sure that you make use of plain text. And second, simple formatting that the system can read. You don't want that the system which is going to read your resume is not able to read your resume at all just because the formatting is so challenging, so difficult, and the text is not a plain text, and hence it misses the key information which it is looking for, and then your resume is not shortlisted altogether. Research by JobScan shows that 98% of Fortune 500 companies use ATS. Resumes formatted to be ATS friendly, example, proper use of headings, standard fonts, have a significantly higher chance of being reviewed by a human recruiter. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully after watching this video and using these 7 tips, you will be able to make a winning resume. In case you found value from this video, I'm sure you'll find value from another video where I talk about how you can go about preparing for an interview. You can check it out here. Other than that, there is another video where I talk about how you can go about controlling your nerves in an interview. You can check it out here. Thank you.